Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I must first apologise for not uploading anything for what seems like over a month now. But today is a special day because I've been really wanting to introduce you to my new friend, my new project that I've had with me since July of 2022, and that is my new friend, a Volkswagen Type 2 camper van. And this is Sunshine, he's called, and you can see why, because he's got this beautiful yellow and white, yellow over white and two-tone arrangement. And so what I'm going to do today is talk to you all about this amazing vehicle, a little bit of history about the Volkswagen Type 1, Type 2s, and then I'm going to do some bit inside, and then we'll go on a bit of a road trip, probably tomorrow when I'm going to the gym, so I'll take you along for that. And I'm also going to show you the beautiful engine that this vehicle's got. So first of all, a little bit of background. I acquired this Type 2 in July of last year from a chap called, funny enough, Richard, who lived in Hastings, and he'd had it as a project he's had it about, I think, 10 years altogether. And I'll post some pictures of it in restoration. It's had a full restoration, this vehicle, from top to bottom, inside. The only thing that's inside is it's all original, but all the panels on the outside are all new, and I'm going to show you around and see how that goes. And then still some work to do, because I've been working on it since last year, on and off. And when the weather's like this, a beautiful day like today we have in February, it's about 6 degrees today here in Maidstone, and the beautiful blue sky. I've been wanting to share with you my new project for well over a few months now, but I've been very, very busy at work and also other things going on in my life, and so it hasn't been possible. But today's the day I'm going to be introducing you to Sunshine. So without further ado, I'm going to show you around. So, a little bit of history. These vehicles were produced in Germany from about the middle of the 60s, about 1968, up until 1979, just after that. So this is a 1979, this is a T registration, 1979 Westphalia camper van. Oh, no, sorry, not Westphalia. Westphalia used to make them, but this is a Devon Moonraker camper van, to get that bit right. So in other words, Volkswagen didn't do their own conversions. They did not. So these vehicles would have come off the factory line as vans, basically, or buses. There were several reincarnations, and then they'd go across to a fitter, because until recently Volkswagen have done their own fit outs. So this was done by a company called Devon, based in Devon, I think they are, and also the Moonraker, which is this particular spec, was the last one they did this before the T3s came out. The T1s are the ones with the pointed V on the nose. These were the later version of that, an upgrade of that. And as you can see, this one is an extremely lovely example. I was really blown away with the photographs that I saw on Auto Trader of this vehicle. And I've got a history with Volkswagen air-cooled engines, because I used to drive a I think it was called a Variant then, Estate, a blue one I had. If I find a picture, I'll put it on for you. But I had that for several years, and a really great vehicle. It went all around the country with me, and had a good history. And I sold it actually, and bought myself my first Ford Fiesta car, and the rest is history, as they say. So we've got up above, we've got the piece that's the top that goes up, which I won't do today, but it's fully retractable as well, so you can put some bunks up there. This is a 4-bunk camper van. You've got 2 bunks downstairs, and I'll show you inside, and then you've got the upper bunks, which you push the top up for. So this is a 1600 air-cooled flat 4 engine. The engine is, and I'll show you the engine shortly, the engine is a replacement engine, it's not the original, and it's done about 68,000 miles currently, and as I say, the guy who had it before me had it as a project. So 4 years restoration, all panels have been replaced, and it's really straight. You can see here how lovely it is. I was really blown away when I went to examine it. I've done some bits since. We've had a new exhaust system fitted for the heat exchangers in the back. I'll give you a quick look at that now, so hang on with me. go. How are we getting here? There we go. So you've got your flat 4 engine in there, new battery, new exhaust system, new heater tubes, and it's had a full service and check over by my mechanic as well. So really doing well, and I'll show you when we start her up how good it is as well. So let's have a look inside. Let me just find the keys. And this is really very old school, so there's no central locking with this, no power steering at all, no assisted brakes. It's very much as it was when it was first built. Obviously a lot of mechanical stuff has been changed. So inside you've got this amazing step. You've got these very large tyres here which give it an amazing suspension, torsion expansion in these machines. Let me just climb up in here. Here we go. There we go, sitting behind the steering wheel now, overlooking the park next to the house. We've got a cool 20 degrees, so it might be 6 degrees outside, but inside sunshine it's nice and warm. There's actually currently no heating in here. There's I've disconnected the connections for that because I had the vehicle re-undersealed over in the Isle of Sheppey, and on the way back, well, I asked the guys there because they could reconnect the exchangers, and at that time, of course, the exhaust was blowing a bit, and then I nearly got gassed on the way home, so I then disconnected them when I got home. So I haven't tried it since, but I actually have to say I haven't found it too cold in the morning when I've been taking Sunshine to the gym and back, which we'll do tomorrow, and I'll take you along for that. So yes, so what have I, so yes, let's just stand up in here a bit. So we've got, so in the back here we have all the kitchen paraphernalia, and I just sit down here, and you've got you've got the sink, you've got a stove here, which is goes here, and let's put this here for you and show what we, and the other side. A bit of damping because everything rattles otherwise, and then you've got a full stove here. This is all original, this all works. Cylinder is underneath there, but I'm probably going to use just an ordinary butane stove on there rather than carry that cylinder around for the type of stuff I'm going to be doing in here. So there, we've got the sink here with the little original sink, and the water. This doesn't work. I've got to fix the water here to make the water come out from underneath. You've got a fridge here as well. Very nice fridge. Underneath we've got places to put your cutlery. These are the original trays. Pepper and salt there. Other bits and pieces in here. So it's all to play for really. It's all here. And the other thing I've had done is these seating, the seat covers have all been changed, and I have to thank my son James, who you probably know from other videos, because the University of Creative Arts have really been very helpful. Their fabric, I forget which department it will be, but have done all these for me, and I'll put pictures of the original stuff that we had there, and on that basis. And I've then got a new wheel cover there which actually matches this current 1970s type fabric here. It's covered up at the moment because of the winter time to keep it from getting damp, but as you see, it's all here. This is the top piece which lifts up. Curtains are to be done, that's part of the project, because the guy who had it before me, he did all the mechanical stuff, but the bits that wasn't done was the interior, which I quite like as it is actually. So but yeah, looking very, very good. So I'll just come to the front now, and what I'm going to do is stop filming, and I'm going to set up the camera so you can hear the start up when the cameras, and then the two are put together on the video. Just before I do start up Sunshine, one thing I want to stress is how solid these vehicles are. I mean, you've got a single rubber support here. It's no double ceiling as you do have cars night to day, but they are really strong, and yeah, a real big clunk when they actually shut the door. So I'll show you that. There we go. You've got the sliding door here, and then you've got access, full access into the camper part of the bus itself. Bought myself a step there so you can step in, even the doormat there. And in the back we've got a very nice open area which you can then lay down and put the bed down, so you've got the bed fully laid out flat. It's called a rock and roll bed, and that. So yes, so and yeah, all the bits there. So yeah, I'm going to start her up now and see how we do that. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Sunshine introduction video, and it's a very cold morning today. It's just about 4 degrees actually out there, and so I've just set the camera up for you to see my journey to the gym. I'm wearing my gym kit, that's the word, as well. So hopefully everything's going to work. I put the camera on a stand so that you can see me driving along, and I've also got the GoPro set up so that I can record the journey for you forward facing. So it's hopefully the 2 camera angles. I can do something where I get to edit this video. So I'm just taking the steering lock off, and I'm then going to put my trusted gloves on. So I'm going to concentrate on that. So we're going to start up. It's a cold start for you this morning. So clutch down, and let's ignition on, and where are we? Let's just get the here we are. Let's just get the immobilize. There we go. There we go. That's not bad. First start. I've got the window open because I always find that easier to see where I'm backing up here. So I'm just going to put my seatbelt on. The trusted windscreen wipers are you can probably see in the corner there, always a bit slow, sluggish first thing. And we're going to go into reverse. The gearbox in this vehicle is quite interesting actually, in that it's a cross and down. Let's just get a bit of revving going. So it's a cross and down, and the handbrake is like an umbrella stick. So it's in and push, and then hopefully, yes, we have clutch. So let's go to back up here a bit. Put the lights on as well. It's quite very, very foggy this morning in Maidstone. We had that beautiful weather yesterday, as you saw earlier in the video. Off we go, hopefully. This is the fun part, this really is. First sort of show me your indicators are working okay. The gear ratios in these vans are quite interesting. Sunshine likes driving along in fourth, but only once you've got up to speed. So first and second are low ratio gears, and she'll actually pull away in second gear quite easily, but I tend to use first. So you have to keep the revs up nice and high. We've got this big steering wheel in front of me, so a good stone pair of footwear is quite also very helpful. There we go. So green. Just gone 9 o'clock, 9:05, for gym session doing a spin cycle class this morning at 9:30, and then what I normally do is do an hour on the weights and then go swimming for 12 lengths of the pool, so which is a Olympic sized swimming pool. So that should be good. So this really gives Sunshine a bit of a run out, and the lights are going red, so we'll just slow down here. Ticks over quite nicely, so you can hear the engine there, as I did yesterday. And orange. And drivers, because this is an historic vehicle, where drivers tend to be a little bit more respectful about trying to get past you. This vehicle also is MOT and tax exempt, which is quite helpful really in saving a bit of cost there, though I always have the MOT done because it's nice to know that there's plenty of safetiness around, so for that. And into third. You can probably tell there's no squeaks or rattles. When I first had Sunshine, there was loads of squeaking going on. I managed to bolt down everything and damp it all because it really did sort of get up my nose a bit, all this rattling and stuff going on. But there's still a little bit of that, but that's part of the character of the vehicle more than anything else. Something I really enjoy. Suspension is really good. I really like the suspension. Move into the far lane. As I say, there's no heating, so you need to be kept warm. I could put the heaters on. They're through the heat exchangers from the air-cooled engine. And then they're fired down through some tubing right from the very back of the vehicle to the front. As I say, when I last tried it out, I was almost gassed in the process, so I need to re-explore that. Because the exhaust system was not working properly, though the heat exchangers are separate from the exhaust. So, and it has taken me a while to get used to the steering setup and the driving, but I really like it now. I've got really used to this type of arrangement. Just listening to the engine to give me cues about what gear one should be in. Move into the far lane here. There is, of course. So there we go, guys. Done that full workout, and I'm now heading back to Sunshine, who now is in the car park full of cars. So it's a good idea to always park forward. And so what I'll do is, you can see in there, once I'm on board, I'll set the camera up and we'll go home. Well, this gentleman next to me parks his Qashqai, who is not Qashqai, he's not decided not to. So let's do that. And we'll head home. There we go. Should be on there. Hopefully that's recording. Yes. Bit of Wally. That's a good session. Hopefully you'll stabilise. It's slightly vibratory there. Once we get going, I've used the seat belt to make sure that you're in place there. Let the light go out first. Lights on here. rip this huge great steering wheel. So now near 10 degrees now, so it has actually warmed up a bit. And with a slope like this, we need to make sure that we have plenty of, plugs fully up, we have plenty of molly going up the hill. So Sunshine loves going along in third gear. That's not the optimum gear, obviously, but once we're up to operating, once we're up to 35, she'll go into fourth quite happily and sing along at 50, 45, 50. And these vans were never made for speed, so you've got about 2 tons of camper van in here, which is quite heavy, apart from the weight of the vehicle. So there's 2 things there we have to think about. And so you have to anticipate when you're slowing down. For example, there's traffic ahead that's got brakes at the traffic light, so I'm reducing speed now, thinking about ahead, and starting to apply the brakes. That's moving, so I'll just keep going, just jogging along, reduce it to third. So it's a bit like an ordinary car in some ways, but otherwise you have to just respect the vehicle, and also you can use the gears to slow you down, so I'll do that now. And we're off. Noise-wise, I don't find that there is a great deal of cabin noise, even when I was going on the motorway at 50 sometimes. I think you just get used to the sound of the shell of the vehicle, really. Certainly I was more aware of squeaks and rattles than I was of any motor sound, you know. Obviously there isn't much sound ending in these, so the best bit of course is the engine is at the back, so all the noise goes on the back end rather than the front end. And I think that's part of the character, really. It's 10 degrees now, so clearly a heat wave. I hope you're enjoying this experience. If there's anybody else that's out there who's got a camper van, I'd be happy to hear from them, and I've got projects coming up, so there's some bits to be doing. There's the curtains to do, some paint work to do on the interior, metal work, so that will be part of the next update I think I'll be doing. And there's also some electrical stuff that needs under this dashboard, because I've used a lot of chocolate blocks rather than heat sealing connections, so it should be interesting, really. But I hope you're enjoying today. I hope you're enjoying coming along with me. And as you can hear, it's quite quiet. Open the window a bit. Put your hand out. It's still a bit foggy. It's less foggy than it was when we came. Third. The petrol tank takes 60 litres of fuel, so I normally top up 20 every so often, just because of the sender is not working. I don't want to overfill it to get fumes inside. ventilation in here. There's a grill at the front, which I've closed, but the side ones, the fresh air ones, they don't seem to want to operate, so there is always plenty of fresh air. Even in the summer, it was quite nice on a really hot day. I didn't suffer with any overheating at all. And of course you've got the fiberglass top, which actually acts sometimes as a heat and cool at the same time. So it's a bit like having a dinghy boat on the top of it, really, above here. So there's a bit of padding, really. And you can hear the radio. I had the radio on, have Classic FM on sometimes coming home, or Radio 1, and it's great, you know. Get to an incline with sunshine, because its speedometer, which is analog, starts to drop if you haven't got enough pedal down. So traffic either wants to get past you, or it will actually respect the fact that you're a historic vehicle. Now. And these vehicles, don't forget, were built all over the world. There was, of course, the last ones were the Brazilian ones, so which had the engine in the front laterally. These are the purest ones. This is the type I didn't think about looking at one of those, but I decided air cools for me.